Fellow mechanic here. So I am out in my shop, and that's actually in the morning, so it's pretty early. I figured I'd sneak out and get some work done. But I'd like to kind of make an observation here of how things tend to work, I'm just going to say, in the universe. And it kind of ebbs and flows, good and bad. And I'm in a point here where things tend to break a lot. So, well, for instance, I was working on my Jeep here on the power steering because it was leaking. So I bought a kit here. This kit, so maybe somebody out there could help me, but this is, there's the part number for it. And power steering repair kit. All of the seals were good except this one in this little dust shield. It doesn't fit, it's the wrong size. So I went to Napa, ordered up another seal, and it's the wrong size too. So I don't know what I have here. Hopefully you guys can help me. But for whatever reason, this size is different from this size. So anyway, that's one thing that's broken. So my Jeep is up on jacks right now because I had to fix the front suspension because that was installed wrong. So I had to fix that too, but luckily I got to that because I was taking this out. And then yesterday, my son wanted to ride my electric bike. And we went to turn it on and it doesn't go. So I think that controller's fried. Don't know why. It was just sitting here, but that doesn't work. And then my golf cart, my beloved golf cart. I don't know if you notice here, I got the engine open, but it is missing its alternator. Well, the other day I was driving it and the alternator fell out. And this one is my fault. So we will do a little analysis here. So let me get the camera set up and let me show you. All right, so the alternator that I put in my golf cart was essentially a GM1 wire. So it's this guy right here. Probably way overkill for a golf cart, but it works. And the mount I made for this bottom piece right here, this top piece is what adjusts, you know, tension on the belt right here. So that's the adjustment up there. But this mounted to the two holes that the motor mounts to the frame right there. And when I made this, I kind of made it in a hurry, and you can tell because it's not painted. I just welded this up real quick and just wanted to get it going. But what I did is I took a piece of 3/4 inch stock, turned it down to about 3/8, and had a stub that came out, which went into the bottom mount like this and held the alternator just like so. I was suspicious that this would be a weak point because of how it necks down right there. And there's a corner, so you get a stress riser right on that corner. But I figured it's a golf cart, it's light duty, you know, what's the harm? Well, sure enough, that fatigued and broke off. So here we are. Now we need to fix it. So I think what we need to do is, I'm still going to use this, but I think I'll drill this out and put a bolt in there. But I'm going to put a flange here and a flange here and a support down here. So it supports this. So this alternator is not cantilevered out like that. So let's do that. Let's fix it. All right, I got a plan now. Here's what we're going to do. So I found these in my scrap bin. Got a piece of angle here. And I think what I'm going to do is weld this to the bottom like that, because that will support the alternator there. And then I got this round stock. I can make a round chunk and weld it to the end there and drill a hole. And this, I'm going to drill and tap that and then run a bolt through it. Boom. There we go. Let's get started. All right, I got my little piece of angle cut here. Now let me make a little round from this guy. Let's do this. Let's make it this long. Right there. Let's go cut that guy. All right, so here's a tip I learned the hard way. I'm going to cut this on the bandsaw. And if you're ever cutting round stock, especially solid stuff, and tubes for that matter, on a bandsaw, when you cut it, it's going to want to spin on you, suck your fingers underneath and hurt you. So get a clamp, some vice grips like this, and hold on to that and cut it like that. That'll save your fingers. Just a quick tip. All right, quickly I made this little spacer on my lathe. That's going to go out here. The bolt's going to go through this. Boom, just like that. Now what I need to do is I need to drill and tap the end of that. So I'm going to do that on my mill. I think it would be the best thing. Let's go do that. All right, I got all my parts made here, but I just found a flaw in my original design. Let me show you what I'm seeing. So this alternator sits in the bracket like this, and it needs to pivot on here. So if I put that there, it runs into my mount here, and I don't get a lot of travel out of my alternator, you know, for tightening up the belt. So what I need to do is put a plate across here. So let me dig through my scrap bin and see if I got a piece that'll work. All right, I found a piece, but it might be overkill, but it's a solid chunk of what looks like, I don't know, 5/8 by 5/8 or half by half. But I think I can put it in here, weld it here, put a nice little angle on that, maybe clearance this spot, and then weld it on and we're done. All right. Mark it here so I know where to cut it. Weld it that much on and we'll cut it right there. Let's notch this back like that. Let me cut that out. All right, here's my piece I just cut on the bandsaw. And what I want to do now is I want to notch this little bit right here, just so I got clearance for the alternator rotate, just so it doesn't bind up. So there's going to clearance that part out right there on the mill. All right, here's my piece. I clearanced the top here. I don't know if you can see it there, about 50 thousandths. And that's going to go in there, and that's going to give me clearance for my alternator right there so it can pivot. Let's go to the welding table and weld it all together. All right, here's the finished mount. All done from welding. It's cooled down. I trimmed the front here just a little bit, just to get a little bit more engagement on that bolt. But here is it assembled in here. So right there. So there's the new and improved alternator mount. So this shouldn't break in the future. Hopefully not. But it's a lot stronger than what I had before, which was this piece, kind of cantilevered out there. So of course that fatigued and sheared off. So now we got a lot more support there. Cool. Let's put a coat of paint on this and install it. Well, the alternator is back in the golf cart, And I took the time to paint some parts that I didn't paint before because I was too lazy. But the piece we just made is buried down in there, and unfortunately we can't see it because we did a good job on it. But if you notice, I am missing one thing, and that is the belt. This is the belt I need, a 4L300. Anyway, when that little bolt broke, it's flung the belt somewhere. That thing just disappeared. I looked for it, I went back, but it is gone. It rolled away to who knows where. So anyway, I got to buy another one. But anyway, alternator's in, everything's secure, and this should be a much stronger setup. So hopefully in the future my alternator doesn't fall out again. But anyway, I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching.